Michael Farley showing us how fast a solid axle car can be. In rough terrain like this, they can work well if you stay in sync with with the terrain, but they don't take too kindly to big mistakes. But like we're saying, Michael Farley, defending champ, he's not a rookie. This guy knows how to push a car on the edge without pushing it over. And Jaxon Kunkel is already about halfway up. He is working his way around the edges, where sometimes you'll find a little bit of salvation, sometimes more trouble than you bargained for. And that's giving Michael Farley enough time to find a little left line, work his way up. I've seen APC do some good rock bouncing, and I think he's gonna do that right here. He has, I mean, 3 cars within sight. Nothing gets a racer's blood pumping more than that. Meanwhile, Jaxon Kunkel's back out to the desert. Jaxon Kunkel working his way back to the short course. Meanwhile, physical second, Alex Jones, and physical third, Michael Farley. Still chewing on the upper section of this broken machete canyon, and I had a feeling Mr. APC was gonna make a move here, and there he goes. Both Alex and Michael probably suffering some pretty bad damage because they seem to be struggling with obstacles that you wouldn't think. Meanwhile, APC is working his way out the top section, one of the last real nasty obstacles right here, and he gets past it. Has to shove his tire into that notch, but it keeps the car on all fours. If he gets it up a little bit higher, he can work his way around. There's that little rock bouncing Baja flow magic going on right here. Very nice work by APC, making up 2 positions and some corrected time as well, because APC started on the last row. Michael going so fast downhill, he cannot keep the back tires on the ground. He takes that left line around, so he must have pre-ran up this and knew that that was the side. Pretty much snowboarding down through here, very smooth, all on the front end. ADUP has a lot of good flow in the desert. He's gonna have to figure out how to use that in a rock bouncer way, just like APC did to work up through there. Alex working his way out the top section. Twisted is going to follow that line. He sees that it's working, and he probably also sees that that's a bad notch right there. He's going to try to go left before he backs up and get the spot. There he goes. Twisted Motorsports making the pass on Alex, who is stuck on a rock we call a hook rock. If you ever see one that looks like that, seek alternate lines. APC back out into the desert where he can finally breathe. Carrying a ton of speed coming up through the backdoor wash. Jaeger's been running very consistent all season long, sitting 2nd place in the points. He's off at a race this weekend, so he has a stand-in driver, Kevin Sullivan. We won't tell him what he did with his car, but nice of him to stand in and get some extra points for Jaeger. Chournos absolutely blasting in typical Chournos style. All Chournos has to do is not lose this race, and then he pretty much has the championship in the bag. He is still gonna hunt right here, I know it. Let's turn on some name tags and check out, oh, race leader Jaxon Kunkel taking a tumble, coming around the back side of the mountain here. Physical second, still a ways back. He's basically on lap 1, physical second, but he still has to do 1 more lap after this. Gapping through these big, huge technical rollers. Technical in the fact that they can You can flow through them, but if you don't do it right, it gets a little out of hand. A-Dub's got to be pumped to be out of the canyon. He's going to work his way up over Qual Ridge. This car is pulling to the left pretty hard. If that is the case, there is a pit right up here that he can take advantage of. You're DQ'd. So he's going to pull over there. Use, this would be Jason Shear's pit. And we'll see. He's going to go out now and reconnect with the... he put some zip ties on it. That's not going anywhere. So he's going to head back out and reconnect with the race course from which he left. Oh, Jackson's going to get out of square, take a tumble. Ooh, that's the kind of stuff that you don't want to do. That'll cause little injuries. Tie rod here, tie rod there. Knock the rear suspension out of square, invert a sway bar sometimes. And after a mistake like that, he knows he's just got to put the hammer down that much harder. So this is that really big Broly section we watched him go through earlier. Now that it's his second time through, we'll see if he pushes it any harder. Tries to find a little bit of rhythm on some of these doubles. Oh, he does a little bit of a, call it like a nose bonk. Good to see Alex Jones back with us, because if there's a gap, he'll send it for sure. I think even like at Thunder Basin, you know, you got to send the gap, right? Some pretty monster whoops out here, but nothing that Triton engineering car can't handle. And you know, the bumps aren't that bad if you're flying through the air over them. Jaxon and Chournos, Chournos and Jaxon back in the rocks for a little more action. Oh gosh, it just makes my bones hurt seeing a car twist like that and then have the throttle applied. He's hunting for a line here, left, right, wherever. Just get me away from the car behind me, because he knows that he does not want to hold up Jaxon, because Jaxon is technically the physical leader right now on the uninterrupted race. He gets the front tires through the gate, see if the back will follow. Now that he has that body panel off there, it might wiggle through a little better. Jaxon sees him struggling, immediately goes for the left side and shoots it. We'll see. Ooh. If he's gonna get it back. And he does. Chournos was making progress but wound up at this pinch right here that good luck with, so he's gonna try to work his way over to the left and try that side that worked for Jaxon Kunkel, who is coming back to see us once again. Tony Hawk Pro Skate's car board slide down that rock. But he's coming down that way. He sees the potential and a line back up for it. It's the back end to pop up on that rock, which lets the rear end square up enough to actually hook that left-hander. That was a really nice maneuver. Chournos still trying to get the car pointed the right direction. Easier said than done in places like this. You gotta love solid axle cars. You really do. Oh my god. Michael, no! Well, folks, unfortunately, Michael Farley just took a tumble that not too many cars are going to come back from. So we'll see if he still has enough of a piece of equipment to make it back to the pits. He knows this is only the bottom of a serious rock canyon that you're going to want to save as much car as you can for. Jaxon doing some work in the truggy tonight. Bikes it, but saves it. Bikes it again. Saves it again. And this little kicker coming back into Hammertown right here is no joke. This jump is not meant to be hit that way. He's just going to pop it all the way to the corner anyways. Bold move. Pulls a little Paul Wolf. Gets over the berm. But physical first. Corrected time so far. 1:12.59. That is quite a fast time. Let's go check on A-Dub. I was watching A-Dub earlier today, pre-running the desert with this car, and it was a thing of magic. I actually recorded some of it just for some highlight reel. Oh, Bailey Rock, Bailey Rock, Bailey Rock. Good save there. There's a rock right there that is very unforgiving. Twisted, potentially going to be making up 2 spots right here if he can shoot this little line. He's got to get that front end over it without popping it up so much. Very fine balance of forward momentum, acceleration, brake timing, everything. Twisted does it, but unfortunately flips the car over. Move that we will call you on. But unfortunately, Twisted fell back down to the bottom. That's going to give APC a chance at this left line that was basically the go-to line for all the IFS cars. The solid axle cars working their way up through where Alex is right now. Which he's going to get it done and get past that obstacle. Twisted a little bit disappointed that he didn't just pass 2 cars. He's going to try to get back and at least get 1 done. Works that heavy rear weight by his car up into position to launch it. You get your 1 shot, 1 opportunity. Mom Spaghetti is able to balance, keep it down, gets through there. If he could have just done that last time, he would have made up 2 positions on these guys. But that is one of the most exciting things about Ultra 4 racing is it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you practice. Let's go watch these guys hit the drop. I bet you they have learned from last time, and whether they know the line or not, they know what the line is not. Oh. Twisted's gonna dump it right down the middle again, but makes it work, clears the undercut. Far left. APC very happy to be looking at Hammertown. He knows he still has the 2025 qualifying ridge plus the pucker factor and the short course left. Mr. Alex working his way down through the 25 qualifying ridge, takes the right line, a little shorter, but makes it a little harder to make that right turn where he just did, but he made it look easy. Right through both pinches. No problems. Mr. KOB APC still beating on that poor car. Not too far behind Alex. A good hunt for APC. He made up a lot of ground. And also hats off to Kevin Sullivan, driving someone else's car, someone else's sim. Not easy to do. Chournos still has 1 more lap to do. And we have another finisher, 1:15. Alex Jones, that's good enough for 2nd place right now. Chournos absolutely floating through the desert. Twisted Motorsports keeping it real, keeping it smooth. Working his way back towards the short course. We'll see if he catches this little kicker or if he remembers that it pops you weird Twisted is probably absolutely delighted to have this series over with, because as fun as it is, by the time you get to the end of one of these, you'll be like, why do I do it? But when you're in server 1, you're in the top 8, you got to push, and hell of a time. 131 for Twisted Motorsports. He had 2 trail repairs. Those will hurt you. So on corrected time, if we knock 16 minutes off of that, that puts him at a 114. So right in there with, yeah, very fast time by Twisted. On, that is none other than Mr. A-Dub. Through the Rock Canyon for the last time. He was one of the guys had 5 minutes to fly around the course before the race. And he was one of the people that chose to look. And I wonder if maybe looking at that psyched him out a little bit, because I know that is one of the more difficult cars to get up rock trails, but if you believe you can fly, you can do it. Kevin Sullivan is coming out of the top of Broken Machete, back down the hill for the last time. Here comes the waterfall. Is he going to remember? Keep it to the right. He does. He does. Nice and smooth. A-Dub coming in to take the checkered flag. 2026 Rekles Racing Spring Series. Final round. A-Dub carries a tire. Takes the finish. Nice job. There it is. Sends it all the way into the bottom of the apex of the corner. Keeps it on track. Does not Paul Wolf the corner. So update, Chournos got disconnected again, but I mean, seeing how he basically had this race in the bag, we don't believe he had any motives to be trying to cheat the system. Therefore, he is still running for his official time, which he is streaming live on Discord, which we are watching right now. So this is Sam Chournos' run through the eyes of Chournos himself. Enjoy. Update for you guys. All the scores have been calculated, and we have a tie for 8th place. Normally this wouldn't be a big deal, but in the Rekles Racing Series, the top 8 will be the pros for next season. So we have to determine who's it going to be, APC or Twisted Motorsports, for that final spot. Tune in for a head-to-head tiebreaker race Tuesday night after the short course series is over. We will have one final showdown between these two for one series point to break that and get the last spot in the pro division sorted for next season.